So I'm here. Got here just in time. 2 seconds. What's happening, guys? Got here. Well, I wouldn't say just in time. I came late, but it is what it is. Anyways, I'm gonna make getting a bit hot in this now. Right, just give me 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Right, I'm here. So we've got a match preview. Ipswich versus Arsenal at Portman Road. Now, can't remember the last time we've played at this. The last time we played them was the EFL Cup semi-finals in 2011. Yeah, that's the last time. I want to say I can't remember the last time we played them here, but yeah, I remember. We actually lost the first leg. Was it 1-0 or something? And then we won at the Emirates 3-0 to get to the final of the EFL Cup, to which I won't go into, what happened when we reached the EFL Cup final of 2011. We'll just leave it at that. But anyways, we've got a match preview. And we're coming off the back of our huge win, historic win, should I say, against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Now, we're back in Premier League action, and I don't expect anything. To be fair, I don't expect a bounce back in the Premier League to say, look, we just beaten Real Madrid now. Now we mean business. Like Liverpool need 2 wins to win the league, so we know that that's done. Yeah, but yeah, I don't really have confidence in this game, but we'll get into the match preview and then we'll let's go. Anyway, Ipswich may well have squandered a 2-0 lead at Chelsea, but even if they'd held on, it was unlikely to have any impact on their inevitable relegation to the Championship. Their fate could be sealed this weekend if West Ham and Wolves both win and they lose against Arsenal. So Ipswich have everything to fight for at home in this game, and you best believe the Ipswich fans and the players are going to treat us like Norwich. That's how they're going to treat us now. Watch. They'll put everything into winning this game against Arsenal. Let this be Aston Villa or something. You know what I mean? They'll probably allow them to just smoke them. You know what I mean? But yeah. So in fact, let me check. So Wolves have got Man United at Old Trafford, and they're playing at the same time, which means West Ham, I think they're playing tomorrow. They're playing Southampton. So, yes, West Ham are going to beat Southampton. Like that's one thing we're sure of. And, Man United being Man United, I mean, they haven't won in the Premier League since they beat Leicester in March. 16th of March was the last time they won a Premier League game. So Man United, in all fairness, are due a win in the Premier League and they're at home. But Wolves are capable of going there and winning. So that leaves Ipswich needing to beat Arsenal so much to the point where it's like, we could possibly relegate them. You know what I mean? Obviously, the Wolves Man United game is on at the same time. It's on at the same time. So let's say if Wolves took a 2-0 lead, that's going to get into the fans in Ipswich. You know what I mean? And then the players are going to raise their game, which rightly so. They should raise the game, yeah. It's just that I know how this works. I know with these small teams, right, that don't go anywhere, they always want to raise the game for us. Bear in mind, we only beat these man 1-0 back in December at the Emirates. A game where some might think we would have smoked them. But we scraped a 1-0 win, and that's that. So the fate could be sealed if they lose against us and both Wolves and West Ham win their games. We know West Ham are going to win theirs. And with their winless head-to-head league run standing at 14 games, drawn 3, lost 11, a temporary reprieve for another week may well rely on somebody else's shortcomings. So, in other words, Southampton and Man United beat, Wolves and West Ham respectively. You know what I mean? That could, especially if Ipswich then win from that. I mean, that's going to be huge for them. The last 4 matches in that run ended in defeats without scoring, but having found the net in 11 of their last 12 encounters across all competitions, Kieran McKenna's men, I'm surprised Kieran McKenna's still there, could at least end the run here. Conceding has been a much bigger issue than scoring this season, particularly in the latter stages, with only already relegated Southampton, 31, leaking more Premier League goals after the hour mark than Ipswich, 24 pre-round. So Southampton's leaked in 31 goals in the late stages of games. Bloody hell. But yeah, you see, I think the thing is with this Kieran McKenna, him staying at Ipswich all season and he couldn't keep their man up is exactly why clubs usually sack the manager when they're in fear of being in this exact position. You know what I mean? I don't know how Ipswich fans feel. I don't know if they feel they should have maybe sacked him and got somebody else in that could keep him up. I don't know. But, Arsenal should make a trip to Suffolk on a cloud 9 after a famous 2-1 win at the Bernabeu. I fumble how I say that stadium. Bernabeu booked the Gunners ticket to the first Champions League semi-final since 2009. Don DeMarco all around for that, by the way. I mean, Don DeMarco for that. You know what I mean? Their progress in that competition has made the league feel like an unwanted distraction, and if the Gunners were to lose an away league head-to-head for the first time since 1984 here. Hang on a minute. What? So we haven't lost at Ipswich since 1984 in the Premier League. Then a Liverpool win later that day would be enough to win the Merseysiders the title. Yeah, that's the thing. The prospects of affording Liverpool the chance to wrap up the title up this weekend appear slim, given Mikel Arteta's side have gone 6 games unbeaten away from home, 1-3, drawn 3. Irrespective of the venue, any Arsenal defeat seems highly unlikely as they have won each of their last 10 Premier League meetings against teams starting the day in relegation zone by an aggregate score of 32. So 30-2. Christ. Let me go on to, in fact, so they've got as much players as we have that won't play because of injuries. They've won 1 of the last 5, losing 3, drawing 1. We've won 3 of the last 5, drawing 2. So let's go on the head-to-heads. Their Ipswich's last win was at Bournemouth. Their last win at home. Whoa. In all competitions, Bristol Rovers was the last time Ipswich won at Portman Road. That is disgusting. When they beat Chelsea 2-0 last year. They ended 2024 beating Chelsea at Portman Road 2-0. That was their last win at Portman Road. So Ipswich, the Jew, the Jew a win. You know what I mean? Now, the last time we lost away from home in the Premier League was I have to go back. Newcastle. 1-0. That was our last away loss in the Premier League. Before that was Bournemouth, which was like 4 games prior to that Newcastle one. So we've lost 2 away games in the league this season. And then obviously we lost the one at home to West Ham, which is a home game. Other than that, all our other defeats have been in cups. So yeah, anyways, let's get into head to head. So yeah, right. So the last 5 meetings between us sees Arsenal. I think that one's a friendly actually. That 5-1 win. Yeah, it's a friendly, and Ketia scored a hat trick in that game as well. So we've won 4 of the last 5 in all competitions, losing 1, which was the first leg of the EFL Cup semi-final in 2011. Carling Cup, it was called at the time. And we got a 3-0 win in the return leg, winning 3-1 on aggregate total score. So before that, we played them in 2002. And that was a Premier League game. That was second to last game of the double winning season, to which we won 2-0. So Ipswich have actually beaten us at Highbury in the Worthington Cup. In the Worthington Cup, 2-1. Other than that, yeah, it must have been 1984 the last time Ipswich won against us in the Premier League, because they've only won in cups. They only won in cups. Christ, I can only go back as far as 1992 on here. Christ. So yeah, well, it should be a win. Newcastle are only 4 points behind us. Second is under threat, like I said. Second is under threat. It's madness. Newcastle in third now. Newcastle, a club to watch out for. I'm telling you. Big up to Rod. Delap is dangerous. Yeah. Newcastle only 4 points behind us. Newcastle smoking right now. I'm telling you, Newcastle might be that team that's that starts to be up there in terms of fighting for league titles and everything, Champions League, everything. I'm telling you, because last season they were in the Champions League, it didn't go to plan as such. You know what I mean? I think next season in the Champions League, you know what I mean, Newcastle, they're going to be looking different. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? If they can keep Isak and keep their dangerous players, you know what I mean? I'm looking at Isak and I'm thinking to myself, why would you leave there? Why leave Newcastle? You might as well stay there and see what you can try and do with them. You just won them the EFL Cup. You know what I mean? This might be the start of something great for them. You know what I mean? No doubt they will challenge next year. Yep. I don't have any confidence in Arteta getting over the line next season, because more and more teams are going to become a threat. You know what I mean? This should have been the season. This should have been the season. And if anybody thinks we're going to sign a striker, an out and out goal scorer, you're dead wrong. You know what I mean? It's not happening. Especially what we've done with Moreno now. That's exactly what Arteta wants. He wants to be able to mold players into what he wants them to be when he wants them to be. You know what I mean? If he signs an out and out striker, it didn't work for him. Even though that out and out striker could get him goals. You know what I mean? Arteta possibly could get over the line if he does that, but he don't want to do it. Newcastle is a good place to be right now. On the up they are. Yep. On the up. If I'm anybody near Isak, I'm telling him stay at Newcastle. You know what I mean? Yeah, Newcastle fans must be buzzing. They will be. won the first trophy in 70 years. They're gonna get Champions League football next season. I mean, like Newcastle have had a better season than we have in the last 5 years. I mean, so unless we win the Champions League this season, I mean, we haven't had a successful season for 5 years now. It's called spade a spade. You know what I mean? So my score prediction for the game on Sunday is Ipswich 1, Arsenal 1. I don't think we're going to beat them, but I'm not going to go as far as saying we're going to lose the game. Yeah, I think it's just going to be another draw. I mean, it's disgusting the amount of draws we've had this season. Big up to Views on Sport. It's disgusting the amount of draws and everything this season. 7 of the 12 draws have been from winning positions. That's disgusting. Big up to DXR, 3-1 winning goes with. I'm past caring at this point because the Champions League's all we've got. I'm looking at these Premier League games now, and I'm just saying, look, just maintain your fitness and keep going. And it is what it is at this point. You know what I mean? Because I don't think the players are going to want to overdo anything now, knowing they've got a Champions League semi-final to look forward to. Now, me personally, I think the players should just play as normal. Not think about the Champions League too much. But yeah, this is just a fight for second now. It's seconds on the threat, 4 points. You know what I mean? 4 points. Now, in terms of starting 11, I wouldn't start the same. I was going to say Partey can't play, but no, it's the Champions League first leg he can't play. I wouldn't necessarily start the same team that started the in the Champions League. I'd probably make some switches. Went off. I'll probably I'll make a few changes in my few. I'd start Wanyeri. Let's face it, he ain't gonna get games now. You know what I mean? Not with Saka being back. I'd start Wanyeri. And I'd start Trossard on the other side. Or no, I'd start Wanyeri, Trossard in the middle, Sterling on the left. We might as well use Sterling for the amount of time we've got left of him. And then I'd have Partey, Rice. Well, I'd start Odegaard. I'd just start him in midfield. And then the back four, probably keep the same back four, maybe start Ben White, maybe. And that's just purely the fact of, these players played the other night and everything like that. And Saka isn't really 100% fit, really. It's just a chop and change because this is the thing, yeah? This is the thing. The lack of chopping and changing is another thing that can do you in. Because look how good Kivior's been recently. Yeah? That is because he's now getting a run of games. There wasn't, and this is why I say when it comes to Arteta and his man management, it's just a shambles. Because when it comes to games where, like for example, you look at Kivior now, look at his form now, yeah, and then imagine Gabriel's fit now, yeah. When it comes to winning a game, say we're winning 1-2, 3-0 or something like that, 2-1, 3-1, you could take either Saliba or Gabriel off and you'd feel comfortable with Kivior coming on, knowing how good Kivior is right now. But Arteta never did that before because he never had the belief in him. You know what I mean? So he throws him in when he needs him the most. We're probably the only club whose centre backs see every 90 minutes, and Kivior doesn't get a sniff. He's getting a sniff now. He's getting games now because of injury. Otherwise, if Gabriel stayed fit, you wouldn't see Kivior. You wouldn't see Gabriel or Saliba coming off so Kivior can come on. You wouldn't see it. Right now, we're not seeing Wanyeri come on for Saka now. We could have seen that at the Bernabeu overnight. And that's how players pick up these goofy ass injuries because of the lack, also the lack of chopping and changing. You know what I mean? Because why? Arteta doesn't have that. He doesn't believe he has the sauce to be able to pull something like that off. You see what I'm saying? It's just fingers crossed for that. Don't play Saka. I mean, I don't feel we need to start him in the Premier League, but I feel because what you don't want either is because he's been playing and he's been playing in the Champions League starting and everything like that. You don't want to not play him at all until the Champions League game because he's waiting too long, kind of thing. He needs to get some games going. I would just say it wouldn't hurt maybe bringing him on, but I wouldn't start him. The league's done now, so we might as well make use of the squad and see what they can do at this point. You know what I mean? Because I'm past the point of being pissed off that we've lost or dropped points in another Premier League game because, you know, we've maintained what we've been doing now all season. We've maintained it all season. And look where it scores. You know what I mean? The last two seasons, last season, we started off, poorly, basically. Then we picked up. The season before, we started off blitzing. Then we dropped off. This season, we've just been poor all season. You know what I mean? It's only in Europe that we've looked like us of the past 2 years. You know what I mean? Let's see if we can get a goal out Sterling. Yeah, I mean, imagine if Sterling scores a hat-trick in any game before the PSG first leg. You think to yourself, well, you can at least bring him on in the Champions League now. You know what I mean? If we get to the Champions League final, if Sterling gets involved in a goal in the game for us and we end up winning it, Chelsea fans are going to have an absolute meltdown. You already know man's going to try and injure him. Yeah, I won't put it past it. You know what I mean? Because Stoke did that to Walcott in 2011, and he couldn't play the EFL Cup final. Just one goal at least before he leaves. Yeah, big up to Static. Big up to you, fam. But yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? Where it's you just hope that nobody has them evil intentions. Let me get a bit rough on Saka and everything like that because let's face it, everybody hates Arsenal. You know what I mean? You've got Wisser, man like Wisser, right? Mocking Lewis Skelly. You see how people dick ride Man City? Man City have been blitzing the league for the past 4 years now. Yeah? They've been blitzing the league, pamming everyone. Yeah? Yet people still suck them off, right? When it comes to wanting to show Arsenal where more on your side. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Lewis Skelly did Haaland celebration, right? Because there's two bit of rivalry between Arsenal players and Man City players. Yeah? The fuck's Wisser getting involved for? Then he goes and does the Haaland celebration to mock Skelly for doing it. Dick riding the ops. You know what I mean? This is what I mean. Like this, for example, imagine, let me think of a scenario that I can compare this to. It's basically a case of imagine there's a group of people that can't eat, because that one rich guy is eating all the foods. Yeah. We all can't eat. All of us can't eat, but that guy can. Yeah. And then one day, I stand tall, stand brave, and I stand up to that guy who can get all the food, right? And I humble that guy. And I even mock him at the same time. Yeah. Everybody else you'd think would look at me like, you know what, you're the guy now. You know, I'm glad you did that because somebody needed to do that. And then one of them guys turn around and then mock me when I get into a situation that doesn't favor me so much. It's like, hang on a minute, we were all in the same boat. You know what I mean? It's like if you were a slave and you stood up to the slave master, and then one of the other slaves goes against you instead of the slave master. You know what I mean? Man, like Wissa. The fuck, man. You know what I mean? And that confirmed everything that we all know when it comes to other clubs. Because when other clubs take the piss out of us, I don't see any other clubs doing anything. You know what I mean? The only way you will really is if there's a player in that club that supports Arsenal at best. You know what I mean? So I don't know if Skelly said anything to him in the game. I don't know what, but man like Wissa felt the need, right, to do that celebration at the Emirates to go at Skelly. And bear in mind, they only equalized that game. So imagine if we'd have scored the winner. But that's how you know they knew. That's how you know they knew that them equalizing was enough. You know what I mean? I think it's mad goofy to celebrate an equalizer, by the way. I think it's goofy. Like, a player scores an equalizer and his knee slides and does all this type of shit. Fam, it's only 1-1. It's only 2-2. It's only 3-3. The fuck? Where do you go about celebrating an equalizer? Now, it's too bad we couldn't score the winner against Brentford. And it's too bad Skelly didn't score a winner, because we can only imagine what he might have done. He might have done that celebration again. But the fact that a Brentford player in Wissa did that celebration to an equalizer, not I've put us in front, nope, an equalizer, right? Which it could have gone wrong because we could have got a winner, for example. Maybe they could have got a winner. But to do it at an equalizer, they knew that was enough. He stood up to a bully. Feel like Man City Arsenal situation. This shit happens. This shit happens all over. And you think to yourself, hang on a minute, what did I do wrong? I mean, I don't even have smoke for you, man, but you had smoke for me, kind of thing. You know what I mean? But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. I can't believe I've been doing this for half an hour, actually. I'm going to leave it here anyway. Yeah, so my score prediction for the game is Ipswich 1, Arsenal 1. Also, it's 2 p.m. kickoff at Portman Road. We'll just have to see. We'll see what we do. And yeah, if we don't win the game, I can't say I'm not going to be pissed, but there's no, we're not going anywhere. It was, if we drop to third or whatever, eventually, it's like, well, you know what I mean? Like, it's not as if like it's not making a huge difference. We still lost, kind of thing. So unless we win the Champions League, that'll be our saving grace. But anyways, big up to you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
come and find me. I'm in the car park now.
Because I'm a black belt in karate.
Stop the cap.
Come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.